I'm not a robot.
Ah, gay dude. Formerly called Meta Hero Battleplan. Yo, yo, yo.
There we go.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, what's
Hey.
going on?
Test.
If you're gonna start this game and you're gonna like strategize off the top,
So at the start, you definitely want to go for the skill shuffles and try and get 3 skills in your equip slots. Then you can upgrade skills too by combining 3 of the same one. So you kind of want to go for that before you start.
Goose, welcome to the stream.
It was designed to be streamed, and so like this is like a real use case, so like an example. So hopefully it's like good content for you. I have this dream of like, decentralized gaming with things of value, playing for, kind of making risky choices, and playing for loss. Like poker.
The first time that I played this, I felt kind of lost. Like when you jump into it, if you don't have that like explanation of every single detail, like how long, Goose, did it take you to like write out how the mechanics are going to work, and then on top of that, the tutorials?
The goal was to have a game that was easy to get into, but just had that rich depth. I mean, because it's like a crypto game, a Web3 game, and there's like things at stake. That phase where you're like, I'll just play around and see what happens. There's too much at stake, and so like, I don't think we anticipated like no, we want to know everything before we even start playing casually, and like in the sim staging where you can kind of just click around and figure it out, and that's been the experience for a lot of folks. And then I mean, there's a lot of depth. There's a lot to figure out. We're modeling it off of like auto chess or Dota or something like that, where you just expect kind of the game's fun, it's interesting enough, you expect this rich culture to build up around it, where people sort of learn by doing and share, and kind of share that knowledge, and build up the omnibus of understanding together.
We're 3 for 3 right now. We're going for the max reward. The hero implementation, though, Goose, the first thing that comes to my mind is like League of Legends, where you're going to have like 190 champions or something. But I know I'm terrified of learning all that stuff. I still don't know. I've played for 3 years. How quickly are we going to see different inhabitants come out and be a part of this? I feel like there's like a problem of potentially like throwing out too many updates, additions before people get like, comfortable with it.
Yeah. I mean, what we're gonna learn by doing, I'll tell you what. So the system is designed from the beginning. We wanted to be able to represent all of the characters in the generative collection for the pips, and so these characters are designed in that way. We worked with this really well-known studio, Titmouse. They worked with Love, Death, and Robots, and they did the Boys Diabolical series. Really amazing animation studio, and we worked hard to come up with this rig for these characters where we can layer all the different traits, all the different elements of the PFPs, so we can, in future versions, we'll be able to read your PFP and generate your character. And then in terms of like what you're getting at is like, well, how are you going to balance all these traits and all these skills and stats? We have a system where all of the attributes, all of the traits that are represented in the PFP can be represented as stats, or what we call attribute skills, which are these special skills. And the combinations of those traits can create, a unique character with unique powers. In terms of how we balance that, Andrew's done a great job with this kind of static version where the characters don't change. What we are actually going to use is kind of a mixture of like good old-fashioned game balance with in-game market feature, like kind of a drafting marketplace. So here, this screen right here is going to change to be in-game draft, like live draft, based on the popularity and win rate of these characters. That'll adjust the action points that you spend on them based on how popular they are, based on the demand on them. And so even if one character is overpowered, right, the market will kind of gravitate toward them. Their action point costs will spike, and as a player, will get an incentive to try and find a way around that character by going for a cheaper, preserving your action points and trying a different strategy. So it's kind of a like real-time economic marketplace balance that we're going to be experimenting, the game balance within this game as we open up the characters.
Is there gonna be any chance for like free to play though?
Let's have a talk about that. So I mean, we will have like a demo version, and we'll have a kind of like trial by fire where you can just play and understand the game, and like a kind of teaching mode. But this game is designed to be Web3 game that you're using your skill to try and extract some value out of the ecosystem. And so as part of that, you got to put value in. We have 3 different modes where you can get kind of an easy fight where you're pretty likely to get any value that you put in terms of your initial fee back if you play well. And then that ramps up in the medium mode and the hard mode, where if you're feeling a little riskier and you want to, you don't want to be hitting base hits, you want to swing for the fences, you can amplify sort of the difficulty and the risk that you're taking to maximize your rewards. So that's kind of the philosophy that we're taking. We don't want to like free to play. I kind of have PTSD about that concept because that's a mode of gameplay and monetizing games that it relies on dark patterns to like trick players to pay, right? Because it's sort of like this open marketing funnel. Whereas our preference, like let's put that all up front, like, hey, we got to monetize this game, we'll give you a good time, it won't cost much, or you'll get most of what you put in back. And if you want to engage further, if you think you're stronger at this game, like you can swing for the fences and you can really really push the limits in terms of the value you can get out of it.
Control, are you still here? Can you tell as soon as we join who's gonna win and like what's gonna do better?
You might win because he's going into the Ring of Death at the back, but he's got nanobots, so that right skill that he's got, his armor is constantly going up every time you damage him. But I think you're going to get him because you're Juggernaut.
Oh my god, you're right. I didn't even realize that. Oh, that's cool.
That armor reduces all damage taken by a percentage. But you're going to just block him in the Ring of Death. So the Ring of Death is designed to stop the games from going too long, and it's a bit of a strategic play as well.
Goose, tell me you play like Fortnite, Call of Duty. Is the gas, the Death Ring as you guys call it, is that reference from one of those games?
Yeah, that's the idea. We kind of wanted to like call back to concepts people are familiar with, kind of give it our own spin.
Control, do I change anything here, or are we looking all right?
So that one, every time you gain shield on that brawler, if you've got that skill equipped, it will heal you. So yeah, so every time you attack with that one, you gain shield. So if you choose a skill like Healing Surge, it synergizes really well, and then you'll gain shield and heal every time. So I would swap out your shield battery because it has no purpose in battle. Equipped in your... So if you put it back up there, or you don't have...
Wait, you just told me to remove it. Okay, this guy can't make up his mind. That's crazy.
People customize a little bit.
Control, I got absolutely whipped off your advice. No offense or anything, but that's a tough look.
So if you buy a skill, it's 3 AP, and then just sell it, you only get 1 back. So the more you rearrange and swap things out, the more AP you're wasting. So your best bet is to have a solid strategy in mind when you go into that first draft.
Is it stupid to put them all the way in the back?
You're trying to predict what your opponent is going to play and where they're going to position, and then you can have an idea of what their range might be and position yourself to counter that.
So what are these things that are on the screen right now? These looks like GG tickets, but what are the other two things to the right?
The GG tickets, like obviously that's you can redeem those for prizes. So all the skills, all the loadouts, all the flares, well, not all the flares, but all the loadouts, like that you can use the tickets to pull off the loadouts, or the assemble the loadouts that you want by using them to buy the skills. You can also use those tickets to just kind of put back in the machine to play more rounds, and then but if you want to use them kind of as exit liquidity, these extractors, if you collect enough extractors, you burn the extractors with the tickets, and it turns into GG that you can take out of the economy. And also that those extractors can be used to burn the NFTs. So any of the skills that you've invested GG tickets into, if you don't want to play with them anymore, you can burn them with equivalent extractors and get the GG out and do with it whatever you want. the battle points, these cross swords. This is our point system for the leaderboard.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a unique system in that it rewards you for how risky you play. So, we have these hard modes, the medium mode, the hard mode, and the easy mode. The more you push yourself relative to your skill level, which those modes will let you do, the more battle points you can accrue. And the point system is relative to you. So the reboot protocol has an MMR, like a matchmaking rating system that just keeps track of you statistically and makes sure that you're met up with good matches, and then it rewards you based on the outcome.
If you remember back in the day, one of the greatest things that any Web3 company could do is give out merch. And we have some of like the original Meta Hero Universe merch. Now my head looks really weird in this, so I'm not gonna bring it up. I gotta switch to the full screen here so you can see. But we got the original Punks one, and we got this. Are these gonna be worth $1 million one day? Absolutely. How did you guys come up with the idea for these rounds?
It's meant to be kind of a quick fix type of thing, like kind of a one more game, and it's meant to sort of be like a little bit of a casual experience. So we're not tying you down. You don't have to commit a huge amount of time if you just want to sit down and play around a battle plan. Once you played around a battle plan, it's just like, I could play another one and probably do a little bit better.
You talked about you having a vision for all this stuff earlier, and obviously, you're somebody that's trying to pioneer that along with a bunch of other people. How do you feel? Like, I feel the most excited that I have. It feels like we're closer for kind of, really getting these games out there and breaking out.
I'm excited. I mean, I like that, not to toot my own horn, but, being in the industry, and, I kind of had this feeling about games, like the way that the game industry now kind of sucks for game developers. It kind of sucks for players. And a lot of it is because, you have these companies that are trying to own it. Like they're trying to own audiences. They're trying to own, retain developers, build these ivory towers. And kind of the best games were really the ones that were most open, like Quake. It's open source, anyone can develop it, you can mod it. When you played the games, if you did a LAN party, it was like you and your friends, someone set up the server and you could start playing. You didn't need to go through a centralized service. And that, I don't understand why we ever left that era. Obviously when money gets involved, that kind of happened. With blockchain games, there's a way to obviate that centralized authority and kind of bring it back to the people. And so I think, some of the projects that are picking up are starting to recognize that potential and like this value of a, kind of community owned experience and having value circulate to the people that actually create the experience rather than be funneled to some centralized corporate behemoth. So those are the kinds of things that I get excited about. I mean, obviously, like the games have to be good, so I think that's a huge turnaround. Like, just having a game ticking that box isn't enough. So a lot of the games that are out there, the blockchain games that are in development, they're really taking that serious. So I appreciate that. I think it's going to be a few iterations. Obviously, like we want to close that gap quickly. We think that we have a peg on how to fix the economies of these types of games so that actually makes sense for all the participants. And again, like we think we have something to say there that other companies are going to start listening to, but the time will tell.
For sure. And what do you think? I feel like I've been reading news articles, and one that I was going over the other day said that play to earn games are boring right now. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's just a headline for the sake of it? What do you think is going to be the key component to fixing that, newspaper headline narrative?
Yeah, they're not wrong. Like play to earn games suck. What is your design philosophy? It's just like I want this game to be just enough fun that I don't know, or they make just enough money that whatever. Because none of them you make enough money that in like a Western world or whatever, like you can put your day job. The dream there, at least from my point of view, is you need to make a game that's fun, and you need to make a game that is fun because there's something of value at stake, and it's got to sting a little bit, right? Like even playing poker with pennies or quarters, on the kitchen table, when you're a kid, it's enough money where it's just like, ouch, grandma took my allowance. That sucks. But you don't want it to be so much that it's just like, I'm going to drop everything in my life and just play this game. Um, so, like I said, like, DraftKings or, these kind of other types of games where the the game's better because there's something of value, there's something to win that can give you a little bump financially. Um, I think that's where the sweet spot is, and calling it like, oh, play to earn, it's just the wrong mindset, I think.
After this, like, is the focus now just on making this game as good as possible, or is there kind of a thing where, like, with Call of Duty, it's like, all right, we're already building the next one?
Yeah, so we have our eyes kind of set, our sights set on, obviously, we're kind of promoting this kind of economic framework for Web3 games that we think makes a statement and kind of shines a light on a kind of new sector of gaming. We want to use Battleplan as sort of the flagship that showcases what that can look like, and kind of the value it can create, and the fun it can create. But Battleplan is built on this architecture called Reboot that we want to start using. Oh, are you getting a bug?
I think something's going on. The finding opponent stuck. Is that so? How have you find, like, is there a lot of things that end up kind of getting snagged or whatever? Like, how quick is it to, like, fix something that you find out?
Yeah, this bug's like a persistent one. So basically, when you're finding an opponent, it's actually triggering Reboot, and it's trying to find an opponent that suits your perfect match. And then it's also generating a transaction that commits your game session to the blockchain. So Reboot is a fully open. It's going to be open source, full visibility, proof of play is what we call it, or kind of that generates a full transcript of your game so that it can be replayed and revalidated. Because as we kind of expand the Reboot offering, we want to make the protocol a completely decentralized protocol where anyone can be validating Battleplan. They can be earning GG for doing it. You can submit your GG to the Battleplan rewards pool and actually earn fees and a cut of the revenue generated by Battleplan by participating in that way. And so those are the elements of the ecosystem that we think are novel, and we want other games to start building on. We're going to be building more games ourselves. We're going to be expanding Battleplan, and then we're going to be opening up the protocol progressively to make it easier for other developers to start developing Web3 games in this way, and Web2 games in this way, for that matter.
You brought up the validating in there, and so is that just having, like, the GG token? Because I mean, for nodes, like, I have a Gala node. Hands up in the chat if you guys have Gala nodes, but I mean, that thing kind of just runs and I have it. But validating, I know with Futureverse and the root network, it's just like having a token and then putting it. Is that kind of how that works, or do you need to run your own validator? Can you, like, nominate?
Yeah, we'll be figuring out the validator program. It'll kind of work a little bit like that. Basically, what it means is all of these games are proofed and signed and submitted to a blockchain to cash in on the rewards, and those proofs and those signatures come from a validator network. We're obviously running the first of those, but we want to open up the protocol for doing that. And so you stake some GG, you run your node, or you like delegate to a service, and it'll just you'll earn some fees for every game that you validate, every game that you proof, and then as our network goes bigger, obviously those fees grow bigger. So the first season is going to be crazy. Basically you'll start out with we're going to be using something like a battle pass reward system where every game you play, every battle point you earn gets you closer to unlocking more loadouts, changing the meta. There's a constantly shifting pool of opponents. Every game that you play, every win that you track, you'll be earning GG, which you can take out of the system or double down to kind of expand your optionality and play the game harder. We're going to have some crazy prizes on our leaderboard for the first season. The next season, we're going to be releasing 30 more cores, like 30 more brawlers, and then some other pretty exciting features. And we have, some prizes on our leaderboard for this first season that we haven't even announced yet, but we will soon. That we think will really kickstart this economy, and the playtesting numbers in terms of like what we're seeing, like how people are attaching to this game, are very promising, like extremely promising. And so we think once Web 2 gamers pick up on it and understand it, it's going to be an exciting season.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, question super quick on that is, when you said rewards, my mind went to, because we're in Web3, that it would be potentially rewards throughout the Web3 world. Or is this specifically more rewards pertaining to pixel vaultings and within Battleplan itself?
Both.
Okay.
So that's kind of the beauty of the protocol. It is designed to do, digital rewards, token-based rewards, gameplay-based rewards. It kind of level, like it speaks all of those languages fluently, because everything is kind of convertible between one thing to the other, and as we add more games, transferable between games.
Control. So my mind is just going strictly to, I just want to max star all these abilities.
I mean, I think you'll get away with it while the protocol figures out your glyco rating. So when you join any game like League of Legends or something, you'll have those few games where it's trying to figure out where to place you.
Yep.
So you might get away with it for a few games, but then especially if you play it on hard, see how you've got Healing Surge and Upscale on the right there?
Yeah.
For your Juggernaut. Yeah, so you've already got them 1 star, and then you bought one of each to put in your inventory. So you can upgrade to 2 stars, but you need 3 1 stars. So that you'd need 9 of that individual
3.
skill. So the chances,
what?
Yeah, the chances that you're gonna get both.
Bro,
of those
I've been
2-star
playing this the
at
whole
point,
time, and this is the first time that you've mentioned that. That's crazy.
As you draft more brawlers, the chances that you're going to get the skills that you want reduces. So you kind of want to go for those 2 stars early when you've got 1 or 2 brawlers.
And
it's kind of a bit of a decision-making thing to just make it like you've got to decide when to draft that 3rd brawler, or when to hold off, when to wait for it to be free, or yeah, there's a lot to it.
Hell yeah. Okay, and then round 12. This is the last one, correct, Amungo?
No, so you can go to 19 rounds. So it's
what?
Win as many as possible up to 15 before losing 5 lives. So you could get to 14 wins with 1 life left, and that would be the 19th round. So that's the maximum you can get to. You only lose the session when you lose those lives. So you still got 2 lives left. So you could win, and then you're not losing them.
That's what the heart is.
6 in a row. Or whatever.
It is not looking good. My God, what was that yank? It's a hook. Grab. Launch a hook to the furthest enemy in range. Deal 40 damage. That's mental.
I think you've still got him, because the Ring of Death will come in.
Nice. It's not Jover.
Maximum rewards is 15 wins, but it's not like that's necessary to consider a session a win. So you might go like 6 wins and lose 5 lives, so you've gone 6 to 5, but that's still considered like good. I would consider that a win, especially on hard. Yeah, like if your win rate is above like 50%, that's pretty good. Like I would consider that. I'd be happy with that.
So listen, expert,
like, maximum.
Okay, so expert opinion here, because we're getting close to the end, right? Is now we got stars on almost everything but the middle. I don't think there's really a point in shuffling. I think we level up here. Where do you level up? Do you go for the thing that's already the highest? Do you go for the thing that's the lowest, or the thing that's in the medium range? Or am I wrong? Do you actually level the skills?
It depends on what strategy you're going for and what skills you're going for. So if it would depend with what you've got right now. I wouldn't personally bother shuffling, because you would have to get pretty lucky in the next few rounds to be able to level up that laser vision and the healing burst. So I would probably I would max level my Juggernaut, which is your tanky guy at the front, because you just take notes from like what's happening in the previous battles. Yeah. So he seems to be the one that is carrying you basically. So
and you go for power or speed here?
I would go for speed, because every time you attack, you gain shield and health, so you want to be attacking as much as possible.
Okay, respect. This guy knows what he's talking about. And then do we go armor or health? I guess all kinds of damage will be I mean, I don't know.
Well, I would go health because if you read your healing surge, so click health and then mouse over healing surge, and so see how down the bottom it has like a formula for how the heal is calculated.
Oh,
So it's 7% of your maximum health. So if you maximize your health, you're gonna get more heal for each time you attack.
Nice.
So each skill has like a little formula down the bottom to tell you like what you might want to max out to optimize that skill. So yeah, for healing burst, the more power you've got, the more heal it's gonna do.
Okay, we got still 6 points left. Do we level up the weakest, or do we go over down to the medium range here?
I would do your lone, yeah, that one, because that explosive shot, the middle skill, is pretty strong. So I'd probably be trying to opt for power or speed.
Well, luckily we got both of those options, my guy.
Well, that's 50-50. That is up to you.
That's
I'd probably go
50-50.
speed. But
Okay, we'll go speed. Hell yeah. Okay. And then we got another one here. So, and then we got armor or health.
I would do health. It's got more. So think about it like effective health, like what's going to give you the most survivability. In that case, the health would give you more, unless you had, like, sometimes you've got skills that scale their damage with how much armor you have. So Carapace, Cove's got a attribute skill called Carapace, which is a good example where the more armor you have, the more damage it deals. So that's kind of a case where you would opt for armor instead of health. So you've always got to mouse over skills, check out the formula, and make sure you're not choosing stats in your level ups that just aren't going to really affect that skill. And like, there's no wrong answer, or there's just better options. So like, you could have went power for that lone, but
I mean, this is looking real good right now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that explosive shot from lone does a lot.
Yo, Fresco just reminded me in the chat here. Control, have you ever had hot dogs and cut onions to put on the hot dog, but then you cried cutting the onions? Has that ever happened to you?
I always cry cutting onions.
I do that. That happened to me, and it was crazy. I was bawling my eyes out, and then the boys were like, "Bro, what is this guy doing?" It was mental. Okay, we're leveling up the end here. Yeah, every time. I mean, so how often do you play? Like, are you talking like you spend an hours a night? Is it, nice hour session daily? Is it, a 15-minute session here and there? What's the
maybe like an hour a day, I would say.
Okay, respectable.
Yeah. When it first dropped, there's some people clocking up some serious hours. I was doing like some collecting some data for a post that we're gonna do, and there was one player who racked up 653 battles in one 24-hour period.
That is mental.
That'd be like, I don't know, 10 hours in a day.
Okay, so we're up to 15. I'll play the music so you guys can hear it. We'll see. Oh my god, the guy's already dead. Oh, not yet. Hold on. I don't know where to put my eyes when this gets crazy. How do you watch it when it does that? What the hell? Oh my goodness.
The battles, like, they feel really hectic in 3v3, but the more you play, the more you can you just pick up on what's happening. It's just like any game, like League of Legends, I play that too. So when you
what do you play in League? Yo, bro, we were already looking for a 5th on Clash Nights. What do you play?
Well, I mean, I used to play like ranked and stuff, but at the moment it's just ARAM with mates.
Yo, listen, we love a good ARAM. Hell yeah.
I was a Fizz mid. That was my main.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, listen, if you ever get back into it, we want to play some norms. I'm down all the time, baby. That's crazy. For sure. Okay. I don't know. I guess we just do armor on this one. Okay, we got one more. Okay. Guess we'll do health on this one. That probably over. Okay, we got last round here. So number 15. Is this it? Control, when you see this, only one life remaining. Give me your thoughts on the map, just like you did earlier, as everything's loading.
Well, this is round 15, but you could still, if you clutched it for the last 5, you could
wait.
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy.
You can have 19 rounds. So I think you might be done here because Haymaker is a that middle skill on that first Brawler. Oh, maybe you got it.
Oh, yo, we're coming in clutch.
Right, you've got it for sure. Your Juggernaut's too strong. I told you that synergy with the heal and the shield is the way to go. You just gotta hope. So there's a mechanic in the game called burning, which is like a damage over time effect. And like the more it can infinitely stack. So the longer the game goes on with a tank like Juggernaut, the more that burning can stack on you and just deal crazy amounts of damage.
Okay, Control, I don't know if I'm just dumb as hell or there was a miscommunication. I thought you told me that I could only get to round 15, and now we're on round 16, but you said before that I could get the max rewards if I was on 15, but then there was something about around 19 earlier, so I'm like help me right the ship.
So-
You ever seen the Office episode where Michael Scott is on like the boat, and then he takes the mic, and then he tells everybody to sink ship in, and then people jump? This is kind of that situation, so help me right the ship here.
How do we fix this? Alright, so it's maximum of 15 wins, or you lose 5 lives. So that can be up to 19 rounds, because you could get to 14 wins and still have 1 life remaining, which would be 4 losses. So you can win 15 times or lose 5 lives. It's basically that. So you're up to round 16, but you haven't lost all your lives yet, and you also haven't won 15 yet. So the session still goes.
That's crazy.
Does that make sense?
I think so. I'm gonna rewatch the VOD on this just to like triple down on knowing. Only 1 life remaining again.
You'll pick it up.
Okay.
After a couple of games, it makes sense.
What do you think? You think we're gonna be able to clutch this one up? Last one, that was clean last round.
I think you'll be fine as long as you don't come up against Burning. And you didn't, so you should be right.
Oh, that first guy's going down quick. Oh, he's going down quick. He's not going down quick anymore. That's a tough look.
So that strobe at the back has a silence. She casts every 6.5 seconds, 7.5 seconds. And that silences your team for 2 seconds, and that stops your team from using any of their special skills, which is the 2 skills.
Oh my god, we might clutch it. Oh my god. We might clutch it from the death ring.
I think they've got you, because see how their first Brawler, the armor constantly scales up? So the longer
Bro, why isn't it
goes,
shrinking? Yo, tell Goose to speed up the gas. What was that? Dude, that was so winnable.
Not bad,
oh
11
my
wins.
goodness.
No, that's great. Like 11 wins. Anything over 5, I'm happy.
Okay, so how do we do? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wins and 3 losses. We went 8 and 3 on stream.
So you're only seeing you went 11 and 5. So you can scroll down.
Oh, there's more. Look at that. Hold on. So what was the first one? It was 8. Yeah, it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Went 11 and 5.
5. So you can see it up the top left. 11 wins that's how many you won, and then you've got 0 lives left, so 5. 11 and 5.
Hell yeah. All right, well, Control, I appreciate you jumping on. That was crazy fun.
No, that's all good.
Let's do it again
Anytime.
sometime soon.
Hit me
Hell
up.
yeah, of course.
Sounds good.
My
It's nice to meet
goodness. Yeah, you too. Enjoy your night.